سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهد
Until we don't fully grasp the impact of sin, we won't have the drive to take us away from it. We need to understand, what is sin doing to my life? In the first instance, it affects your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hadith says, إِذَا أَذْنَبَ الرَّجُلُ ذَنْبًا نُكِتَ فِي قَلْبِهِ نُكْتَةً سَوْدًا. When a person commits a sin, a black spot comes in his heart. If he makes tawbah, the black spot is removed. But if he returns to that sin, another black spot comes, and another one, and another one, and another one, until eventually the entire heart is engulfed in blackness. Now when your heart is engulfed in blackness, then I ask you, what enjoyment will you attain in your salah? What enjoyment will you attain when you're reading Quran? What enjoyment will you attain when you're making the zikr of Allah? There'll be no enjoyment. It will be a mere burden that I know I have to do it, so let me just do it. Or there is the social pressure that I'm expected to be at certain places at certain time. Otherwise people will ask, and therefore you go with the flow. Yet there's no enjoyment. And this is the first harm of sin. The second harm is that it affects our relationship with those around us. It causes friction, fighting, bickering, argumentation in our lives. Our relationship with those who we interact with, whether it's our spouse, our kids, our parents, our employees, our employer, sin causes friction in those relationships. The hadith says, مَا تَوَادَّى رَجُلَانِ فِي اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, that no two people love each other for the sake of Allah. فَتَفَرَّقَ بَيْنَهُمَا إِلَّا بِذَنْبٍ يُصِيبُهُ أَحَدُهُمَا. That friction that comes about is as a result of a sin that one of the two has caused. As a result of the sin that one of the two has caused. There was this girl, young girl who was about to get married. So she sends a message to her fiancé and she says that, when we get married, I want to share in all your trouble and your worry. So he looks at the message and he sends a message back and he says, but I don't have any trouble and worry. So she sends a message back and she says, that's because we're not yet married. The point is that we're looking for the solutions in the wrong problems. We're quick to say that this generation, they don't listen to anyone, they're disrespectful. Or, no one wants to listen to what I say. Or we keep blaming the wrong people, not realizing the fact that you're not listening to Allah. Perhaps that's the reason why your children are not listening to you. That could very well be the reason. So that is the impact of sin, that it creates this friction in our lives and it brings hatred amongst us. More than that, the third point with regards to sin is that we are living in times which are financially, everyone's experiencing some constraint, and we'd all love to have extra resources at our disposal. With inflation and all the commodities, the prices going up all the time. What does the hadith say? إِنَّ الرَّجُلَ لَا يُحْرَمُ الرِّزْقِ بِذَنْبٍ يُصِيبُهُ. A person is deprived of sustenance because of sin. So that is the third half of sin, that it causes barakah to be taken away and your sustenance is constrained and restricted. And then you're saying that, I need to earn more, times are bad, I don't have any money. Yet you're not realizing that the reason could very well be that sin that you commit. We also find these days that there are more and more people who are complaining of mental illness, anxiety, depression. Every 8 minutes in our own country, someone is committing suicide. Every 40 seconds in the world, someone is committing suicide. You hear of such mental illnesses these days that you never heard of before. And when you interact with people, this one has bipolar, this one has depression. And we don't realize that what could very well be the reason of this. وَالْإِثْمُ مَا حَاكَ فِي صَدْرِكَ. The hadith says that sin is that which causes the unease in the heart. That unease, that discontentment that we find in our heart, sin could very well be the cause of that.